the pandemic business as usual. It is something that has impacted people worldwide, economically and mentally. And the most obvious, physically.
2. Secure Australians' jobs and livelihoods.
Jobs are so important as part of our plan to ensure Australia moves through these difficult months ahead. We need to reduce unemployment. We need to get businesses open.
The world is becoming a crazy place right now, so let's jump right into it. Hey guys, my name is Gaelle and I'm here today to deep dive into the careers of essential workers who need to soldier on during this pandemic and themselves right now, and put themselves on the front line to provide not only for themselves, but to help others. But first, I thought it might be smart to dive into the impact of the pandemic with people who don't have a job or it's just outside of their work. Like Emily, for example, who decided to experiment with the scissors and cut a fringe.
So my name is Emily and I'm 21 years old. Because of COVID-19, I did lose my job. I was pretty upset about it because I really liked my job. I was just in retail, but yeah. So I'm a pretty active person. I really need to be on the go like all the time. Otherwise I get in a bit of a rut. So the first month of isolation, I was just absolutely insane. Thus this hair. I decided to cut bangs 3 days in. This is not it. I did say that I would try and get an appointment at the hairdresser, but that didn't go down well. It was closed, so I made the conscious decision to go to the chemist and buy scissors. So I knew I wanted to have a fringe. I've been wanting to have a fringe for a really long time, and I just thought it's the perfect time to get it, because if it doesn't work out, no one's gonna see me except for my family. So there's also a trend on TikTok going around of people cutting their fringe or shaving their head.
Just did a good thing. I don't regret this thing at all. And you're wondering what it is. I'll tell you what I did.
And honestly,
I did a good.
This was a good decision. Who knows? If isolation continues for an absurd amount of time, I might come out of it bold, but we'll see how we go.
Sort of reminds me of the time where I had to wax my eyebrows and it may have gotten into my own hair. Don't question my mistakes or how or why I did it. It's just desperate times for people and desperate measures. But this brings me to the point of how people can become irrational, unthoughtful and fearful throughout this pandemic. Some people have taken a turn and become quite abusive to fellow citizens, and then making themselves break the social distancing rules by trying to, I guess, be a hero.
And this woman was standing here, right here, filming us, videotaping us.
So let's look into the story of Christine, where she talks about the story of how she got harassed during her walk with just her husband, her daughter and herself.
So my name's Christine Morell and I live in the suburb of Cronulla, and I had a very traumatic experience with a member of the public who decided to be a vigilante during lockdown. So a few weeks back we had gone for a walk and decided not to walk along the esplanade because it was overcrowded. So we decided to walk down along the rocks, and as we were coming back, there's a section that is actually barricaded for people not to sunbake.
Right, so imagine none of this was here earlier,
Yeah.
okay? So none of the barricades were here. This barricade, so this barricade,
Yeah.
all the way over there, and it means the facility's closed. So what that means is that you can't sunbake here, right? So we got that. You just can't sunbake. But there was a little opening here, so it means you could actually still walk around the rocks.
So to gain access back onto the concourse, we were walking down on some steps, and then we were watching this lady standing there just videotaping us.
And she's going, it's people like you. It's people like you that's going to get the beach closed. It's people like you.
Oh, hang on, steady on, steady on. Are you kind of above the law right now? Because there's like 3 police officers there. And so Jules, I just said to her, stop being aggressive. We've done nothing wrong. We've been for a walk. We've walked down up on the rocks and we're still walking, but you actually stopped here with a video.
She's starting to yell and scream, making a scene. And my husband said, he said to her, so you think you're above the law? And she's going, what? And she goes, well, you think you're above the law because there's 3 officers down there that haven't come up to us and warned us or said that what we were doing was against the law.
We also chose to walk along the rocks here so that we were keeping our social distance. Like when you walk along the esplanade up there, honestly, it was absolutely jam-packed some days, and you're kind of going, you know what, I need to not be around people. So that's why we cut through, because we weren't around people, but we were getting our exercise, and this is good for our mental health and well-being. Being this close to the water, doing the physical exercise calms you down.
I was so shaken up. I got home and I rang the police. And I explained to them what happened, and I said, look, I just need to confirm that what I did was either right or wrong. And they said, no, you can walk along the rocks, there's no issues there. And they said to us, it's people like her that are making our job harder.
I'm a health professional and I don't like to break the law, and I didn't think I was breaking the law. That same day, we saw her again, and we were walking up through the park, and she was behind us and then stopped, and then she says hello to us. And I said, do you realise who I am? And she goes, oh yeah, sorry about yesterday. And I just looked at her and I went, you know what you did was inappropriate. You traumatised me. You embarrassed me. You humiliated me in front of a crowd. And you weren't even in the right. I told her I'd call the police. And she goes, what? I said, yes, I called the police. And I let them know what was happening and what you were doing. And they said to me to not react to someone like you because you've probably got a mental health disorder. And I said, well, look, you're very lucky that you did it to me rather than to someone who might harm you. So next time, don't be a vigilante. Allow the police do their job and just leave other people alone.
It's shocking how people can react and treat others during this pandemic, but it's something that we have to deal with day to day, and we just have to take it one step at a time. Which is why on the next episode, we look at what it's like to work at a supermarket during this pandemic. Maybe I could also snag a toilet paper roll while I'm at it. Thanks guys for joining me. Remember, stay safe, wash your hands. And if you're either staying at home or being an essential worker, just remember it's business as usual.